Welcome to the AI Biopharma Playbook channel, investors. Today, we're diving deep into Altimmune, a clinical stage biotech company that's making waves in the metabolic space. We'll break down their lead candidate, pemvidutide, analyze the market, assess the competition, and run the numbers to see if this stock is a hidden gem or a high-risk gamble. So, stick around for our full strategic analysis. First, let's talk about the product at the heart of Altimmune, pemvidutide. This isn't just another weight loss drug. It's a once-weekly injectable designed as a dual agonist, targeting both the GLP-1 and glucagon receptors. Why is this important? Because it aims to tackle two problems at once: the metabolic issues driving obesity and the liver pathology that leads to a serious condition called MASH, or metabolic dysfunction-associated steatohepatitis. The recent 24-week phase IIb data gave us a very promising glimpse of what pemvidutide can do. In this study, a significant number of patients saw their MASH resolve without their liver fibrosis getting worse, around 58% in one dose group. For comparison, only 20% of patients on placebo saw the same result. What's more, up to 44% of patients on the drug achieved normal liver fat levels, compared to just 4% on placebo. On top of that, patients lost about 5 to 6% of their body weight, and the drug was well tolerated, with almost no one dropping out due to side effects. So the value proposition here is powerful for doctors. Pemvidutide could be a single-shot solution to reduce liver inflammation, improve fibrosis markers, and help patients lose weight, all in a disease that currently has no approved treatments for the healthcare system. This could mean avoiding the massive long-term costs of cirrhosis and liver transplants. It's a compelling story. Now, how big is the opportunity? MASH affects a staggering number of people. Roughly 5 to 10% of adults in developed countries. That's millions of potential patients. If we narrow it down to the core group with moderate to advanced liver fibrosis, the ones most likely to get treatment, we're still looking at about 2 million people. Let's do some quick math. If we assume that eventually 30 to 50% of this group gets treated, and we use a potential therapy cost of around $50,000 a year, the global market for MASH therapies could be worth anywhere from $2 to $5 billion annually, and that's just the start. The market pull is strong because there are no approved drugs, and the cost of doing nothing is incredibly high. Patients who progress to liver failure face dire health consequences and astronomical medical bills. There's also a big technology push. The entire pharmaceutical industry is racing to develop these new multi-agonist drugs, and pemvidutide's balanced profile puts it right in the mix, potentially addressing both liver fat and liver repair directly. Of course, Altimmune isn't alone in this race. The competitive landscape is crowded and fierce. You have companies like Akero Therapeutics and 89bio with their FGF21 analogs, which are also showing great promise in reducing liver fat and improving fibrosis. Then you have the giants Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. Their blockbuster GLP-1 drugs for diabetes and obesity are also being studied for MASH, and they have massive financial and marketing power. So where does pemvidutide fit in? Its key differentiator is that dual receptor mechanism. The combination of GLP-1 and glucagon agonism could potentially deliver stronger results on both the liver and metabolic fronts compared to drugs with a single mechanism. The early safety data also looks very favorable. But let's be clear, Altimmune is a smaller player in a field of heavyweights. It has strong science, but it's up against deep pockets and established commercial machines. With any biotech investment, due diligence is crucial. Let's weigh the strengths and risks. On the strength side, the phase IIb results were statistically significant and clinically meaningful. The dual mechanism is a solid scientific approach. The drug's tolerability is excellent, with very low discontinuation rates, which is a huge plus. And there's a clear regulatory path forward, with the potential for an accelerated review. Now for the risks, and they are significant. The data we have is only from a 24-week study. We need to see if these positive effects hold up or get even better at the 48-week mark, especially for fibrosis improvement. Gaining FDA approval will require hitting very specific and tough endpoints. And as we mentioned, the competition is intense. Finally, Altimmune will almost certainly need more capital to fund its expensive phase 3 trials, which means there's a risk of shareholder dilution down the road. So what does all this mean for the company's valuation? Altimmune is currently trading at around $4.23, giving it a market cap of about $440 million. It's a pre-revenue company, so its entire value is tied to the future success of pemvidutide. Let's build a simple discounted cash flow model to get a sense of its intrinsic value. We'll use a few key assumptions: a commercial launch in 2027, peak revenue of about $1.2 billion by 2030, a 30% chance of approval, and a 12% discount rate. With these numbers, our model suggests an intrinsic value of around $770 million, or about $7.50 per share. That's roughly a 75% upside from where the stock is today. But valuation is all about assumptions. Let's look at a few scenarios. If we're more pessimistic, say, only a 20% chance of success and peak sales of $600 million, the value drops to around $4 per share, which is right where the market has it priced. On the other hand, in an optimistic scenario, where the probability of success jumps to 50% and peak sales hit $2 billion, the valuation could soar past $12 to $15 per share. This shows you the wide range of potential outcomes. Another way to think about it is earnings power. If pemvidutide is successful, it could generate around $200 million in net income by 2030. That translates to about $1.90 in earnings per share. If we discount that back to today, we get a risk-adjusted earnings power of about $1.20 per share. It's also possible Altimmune could get acquired. In that case, an acquirer might use what's called a contingent value right, or CVR, to pay shareholders extra if the drug hits certain sales milestones. Looking ahead, what are the key events that will move the stock? The biggest one on the horizon is the 48-week data from the IMPACT study, expected in late 2025. This will be the moment of truth for fibrosis improvement and durability. After that, meetings with the FDA will clarify the path for phase 3 trials. The initiation and results of those phase 3 trials between 2026 and 2028 will be the next major catalysts, followed by a potential regulatory submission and approval around 2028 or 2029. Each of these is a major inflection point that could dramatically re-rate the stock. Let's not forget the patient. A once-weekly injection with minimal side effects is a big deal for adherence. If you don't feel sick taking a drug, you're more likely to stick with it. From a health economic standpoint, the argument is also strong. Preventing even one liver transplant, which can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, would save the healthcare system a fortune. An effective MASH therapy could add years of quality life for patients while lowering overall costs, making it a win-win. So to summarize, Altimmune is a classic high-risk, high-reward biotech play. The phase 2b data for pemvidutide is impressive and validates the company's scientific approach. But the road ahead is long and uncertain. They need to prove the drug's long-term benefits, secure funding, and compete in a very tough market. Our 5-year outlook shows a wide range of possibilities. In our base case, with moderate success, we see the stock trading around $7 to $8. In our upside case, with home run data, it could reach $12 to $15 or more. But in the downside case, if trials falter, the stock could easily fall back to the $3 to $4 range. In conclusion, Altimmune represents a speculative investment with asymmetric upside. If the upcoming 48-week data confirms what we saw at 24 weeks, this company could be on its way to carving out a significant piece of a multi-billion-dollar market. Until then, the stock is best suited for risk-tolerant investors who understand the binary nature of biotech catalysts. That's our analysis of Altimmune. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more data-driven investment analysis. Thanks for watching.